So Nintendo released their app, finally. Let's take a look at it. I'm sure you're well aware, even if you aren't a huge video game fanatic, that Nintendo has released an app, and it's been doing incredibly well on the App Store and Google Play. And I was pretty stoked to see what they were going to do, and I wanted to review it like a game, but it's not a game necessarily. It's definitely just more of a social media site. It'd be like trying to review Facebook or Twitter, because I personally really like using those things, but I know a lot of people that don't like using them. But the difference is, there aren't really any rules that govern social media design and use. You can't go onto a social media site and say, because of the way that every social media site has been designed, this shouldn't be a thing. There's no overruling design rules that apply to social media, every social media outlet. There are rules in game design, and there are rules in social media, but they're definitely not connected, basically, in most ways. You can look at a game and say, this is inherently good or bad because through history and through the way that the medium has grown and developed, this works well. And there are a lot of things in social media that are based completely on user experience. Like, if your friends aren't stupid, or if they are stupid, or if you use apps a lot with your Facebook account, or if you tweet a lot. So it's really hard to actually review this thing as a game, because it's not a game at all. I guess let's get into it a little bit and I'll show you. So you start out and you make your little me, and then you go through and you give him a personality, and he's really cute or whatever, or an outgoing charmer or whatever. And if you ever played Tomodachi Life, it's basically Tomodachi Life Lite. There's some customization, there's not a lot of customization, there's some parts that are a little bit gamey, and then there's some parts that are just not a game at all. Most, if not basically all of the app is based around getting to know your friends better. So you'll get these string of questions and you answer them, and then your friends can come over and they can listen to you talk about what your favorite kind of bread is. And I mean, that's all there is to say about, like, the question and answer portion. There are some questions that you, like, can tell only between certain people, or they'll ask you, what's my best quality? It's not bad. It's just a little bit underwhelming. But there are a ton of questions, and they range from things like, what month were you born in? To, how do you want to die? What does friendship mean to you? What does work mean to you? Or, do you like dogs or cats better? There's this huge array of questions that you can answer, and people can listen to your answers. And I guess it's pretty fun, especially if you actually know the person. So that portion's, it's all right. It's not really anything special that we haven't seen before. But the inclusion of, like, your me characters and the fact that you can dress them up and it'll reflect kind of your personality it works pretty well, I guess. You can go and take pictures of you on a dog, or take pictures of you laying on your dog, or have heated debates about your dog. There's definitely other things than dog things, but they seem to be pretty focused on dogs lately. With the customization, it's basically just you dressing up how you would normally dress up. In about 30 seconds, I found a hat that I always wear, and my me wears it much better. It's kind of a bummer, because I guess I realized my fashion sense isn't what I thought it was. Because my me can afford and look really good in cardigans, and you don't even know if I'm wearing pants right now. It's a little bit slow. Like, you gotta really get into it with your friends, and if they're, like, funny, interesting people, then it'll be a funny, interesting app. But if your friends are a little bit boring, and if you don't really have much of a relationship with them, then it's gonna be, yeah. Definitely my favorite part of the app, hands down, is the me photo part. I was blown away with how powerful their little picture editing thing was. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. It's hilarious. Make your friend who's not very into Japanese culture look like a total weeb. Or make your me hail a picture of Pikachu that you drew in class one day, where he's saying that God has come to reap the sinners. And you look anywhere on the internet, and people are finding genius ways to go about this. There are killer funny pictures all over the place. And really, that's what the app just comes down to is it's not particularly interesting, but Nintendo made it incredibly fun. It's funny to watch people interact, and it's funny to see what your friends are saying, and it's funny to see what kind of pictures they're making. You know, you get questions that are simple, like what's your favorite TV show? Or imagine flowers blooming in your mind's eye. How many flowers do you see? Fields and fields of flowers, and then the smell of blood. A torrent of life's liquid pouring over. Suffocated, drowning. It covers all. These are the end times, the final days. That question's got a whole lot of people answering 69, though, because obviously I am friends with comedic geniuses. So that's the app in a nutshell. It's really simple, there's nothing real special about it, but it's great to see Nintendo moving in this kind of direction. I mean, like, you can cuss and swear for the first time. You know, Daddy Nintendo doesn't have his thumb on what you can do anymore. You can act like the way that you actually are. And that's really refreshing after games like Animal Crossing or Tomodachi Life, where, I mean, you're kind of limited in how you can act, and it makes everything kind of feel not quite real. Like, everybody's personality was just kind of not quite there. The method for friending people was a little weird, and I guess I understand why they did it this way. Like, you can friend people that you are friends with on Facebook, or you can friend mutual followers, so you're following each other on Twitter. But there are a lot of people that I know that I'm not friends with on Facebook or Twitter that I would love to add by, like, their phone numbers. And before you ask me why I don't just friend them, maybe think how you would feel if someone came and judged your ability to socialize. And like, I understand that this is an app that you want to use between friends, but for people that don't have like a lot of friends on social media, or don't even have a social media account in the first place, you know, there's not a lot they can do about adding friends besides finding a couple people that they can add mutually. And you can like add people in the same room, but there are not a lot of times when I'm with someone that has the app. I know it's only been released for a little while, but like, I can already, it already just feels a little weird. It already seems like a little, just, it's kind of a shortcoming, you know, it's kind of a weird way to add friends. But whatever, I mean, it's alright. It's nothing really to write home about. It's fun if you know how to have a good time, and if you're pretty clever or whatever. But the good thing is, Nintendo heading down this road, and especially with the release of My Nintendo along with this, it seems like they're finally going to be understanding how to just work with the internet in a way that people are going to be able to use it and really enjoy it. Like, I pre-registered and I did all the stuff that got me the most platinum coins that I could right off the bat, and then I used those in the My Nintendo thing and got the Twilight Princess Picross in like no time at all. Let's review it real fast. It's real fun. I like Picross. Hooray! It was really fun to just have that, you know, downloadable title right off the bat, and to have a constant stream of coins, because you can do things on the app that will get you more of these coins, and then you can use those coins to spend it on things like discounts or different games. And like, it's such a relief to see Nintendo kind of moving into this digital age finally. I mean, it's definitely not a great app, but it's very polished, and you know, it's a good way for them to start their mobile distribution. And you kind of wonder how much of a life it has. And I mean, Nintendo says they're going to be updating it and that they're going to be adding more features and stuff. But I had a friend who answered a question the day after the app came out that said, I've already milked this app for everything it's got. The only thing that I'm really worried about is that they will not be able to find a way to keep their apps relevant for more than like a few weeks. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily bored of it, but it's the long-term life of it is a little bit hazy. We'll see where it goes. I'm really excited to see what their other apps are going to be like after this one, because while this one's pretty bare bones, it's really functional and it looks really good, and it works. Like, everything is really responsive, and it's just really clean and sleek. And so that gives me a lot of hope for when they actually release actual games. And they also didn't shove microtransactions down your throat at all. There's like a little kind of Plinko drop game that you can do to get different outfits, but they give you in-game currency, enough in-game currency that you can just play it whenever you want, basically. And it's not like, buy our app, you need to pay us money. It's just like, hey, you want this cat? Just like, just drop it. And it's impossible. I cannot for the life of me get that stupid cat. I really want it. And it seems like they've got a pretty good idea about the quality of the games that they're going to be releasing on the app stores. Anyway, it's free. I mean, like, you literally have nothing to lose by downloading this app except for some memory on your phone and some dignity.
It's someone that's honest, transparent, and respectful.
That's pretty deep. My dog's sitting on my lap. He's having a little dreamy right now.